As some of you already noticed, that discdyeing.com marketplace has shut down. If you were a vendor on there, you probably got that email and know about it, and you're probably wondering, where can I sell my dyed discs? Well, I wanted to do a quick vlog to give kind of a idea of what you can do to sell your dyed discs. And I'm going to be putting some labels on my bottles while I do that. And yeah, so discdyeing.com marketplace has shut down as of today when I'm recording this. The Dyers Guild also used to have a marketplace set up, but shut that down at the end of last year for many reasons, kind of the same reasons as discdyeing.com. It was a lot of work to maintain for the profit that it was generating, so it just wasn't worth the time and effort to go through all that. The issues that I had with the marketplace, if you were a vendor on the Dyers Guild marketplace, I sent out the email, but again, it was just the time, the resources, and one of the big things was customer support for either both customers that bought through there or to help dyers with any issues. But one of the main issues was that the payment that we used was PayPal. It was all connected. So for example, if a customer filed a complaint through PayPal, that's on the Dyers Guild PayPal, and I didn't want the Dyers Guild account to get shut down for that. So that was one of the main reasons, with a variety of other things. Things are not cheap to run. It also seemed like the somewhat downturn of disc dyed sales, like towards the end there was not a whole lot of disc dyeing sales per se, and I don't want to necessarily discourage you or have that being discouraging to you that you want to sell dye discs. Now, like any business, it is a hustle, and just listing it somewhere and that is it is not going to make you sales. You need to do a lot more marketing, time and effort, getting your name out there. It's not you build it, they will come. And I feel like, from my perspective, the market is getting, I don't want to say saturated, but saturated with dyers that would want to sell their discs. Now, can you make a full-time living selling dyed discs? Yes. There are a few people that do that. They started out a while ago, and like I said, it takes a hustle to do this, and you got to be willing to do that hustle to make those sales. But is it possible? Yes. Take a listen to the podcast that we have currently. There's going to be more released, but we're talking the business side of disc golf specifically, and that is a wealth of information, and even I'm learning some stuff there as well. So definitely go check out the podcast. But the main thing that I want to talk about is, okay, our marketplace, the Dyers Guild marketplace, shut down last year. Disc dyeing marketplace shut down for various reasons. Where can you sell your dyed discs? Now, there's a few options. One, I'm going to tell you right away that I'm going to be referencing back, is a shameless plug on the Dyers Guild. We did shut down the marketplace, but we started the Business Builder program. And you can learn more about that by going to dyersguild.co/businessbuilder or checking it out or finding it on the website. But what that is it's more than just a website. You get a whole suite of things that will help your disc dyeing business. Like I said, it's not just the website. You get like marketing material. You get the Dyers Guild's 17 years of experience of marketing in general, of how to market yourself, and a bunch of other stuff. So definitely check that out. But as part of that program, we do offer your personal website. So it is a website that is dedicated for you, that is your branding, your information, your products. So we do offer that. Looking for feedback if you have any feedback after you take a look at it, but definitely go check that out. Now I'm going to tell you some other options besides that, and I'm probably going to refer back to the Business Builder of why that's a good choice, I think. Other options that you have are social media. So that's probably the easiest way, I guess, is there's Facebook groups, like, I can't remember offhand, but there's like disc dollar auctions, there's specific brand marketplaces where you can sell or auction off your discs. Those can be good. The auctions can be hit or miss sometimes, and it's maybe good market research to see, okay, this dye does well, this dye doesn't, because some dyes you're like, why the hell did this sell for so much, and others are like, this did not make what I wanted. So caution with that. Expectations may vary, but yeah, you have those Facebook group marketplaces, the groups, or you can even sell on Facebook Marketplace if you wanted to try that. That is free and open. That's probably more so better for local stuff. So yeah, Facebook, Instagram, you can advertise on there. Yeah, you necessarily, well, you can set up shop on Instagram. You don't have to have a website for that, but I believe with to set up an Instagram shop, you do need a real business entity like an EIN number or an LLC, and I might talk about that at some point in this video as well. But yeah, I believe you can have an Instagram shop where you don't need a website, where you can just sell stuff through Instagram. Another one is TikTok, which can be very lucrative depending on how you do it, but you can set up a TikTok shop as well. And I know at least I heard from the TikTok shop that it can be like the TikTok terms, like if you don't ship out in X amount of days, it can be, they like punish you pretty bad. So you're beholden on them for certain terms and conditions, and I know you can set certain terms and conditions as well, as like, okay, I can send out a product in 7 days, and some platforms you can specify that. But yeah, Facebook groups, marketplaces, Instagram, TikTok. Another one that I have not checked out yet that seems to be gaining some popularity is Whatnot. So it is a platform where you go live, and it's basically like the home shopping network, where you sell your dye discs live in that format. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. So that's some of the social stuff. Other marketplaces that you can try are obviously Etsy. Now, I want to preface marketplaces. It's a marketplace and you don't necessarily own that marketplace, so you're beholden to their pricing fees, their structures, and they can shut you down for various reasons. Now, with Etsy, my wife had an Etsy shop where she sold doll clothes, and they shut her down because the doll clothes, the listing had like American Girl doll in it, or the description, and American Doll basically did a cease and desist and shut down her shop. I say that because if for whatever reason you're doing a dye discs with IP characters, like, you know, Disney, Marvel, or anime stuff, there is the potential that Etsy or any marketplace can shut you down because they don't want that on their marketplace, because that's technically like copyright infringement for that specific IP, or the IP of that whatever you have on there can't shut you down. So that is a downside of marketplaces depending on where you go. But Etsy, I know, can shut you down for really any reason. So if your livelihood is on Etsy, got to be careful with that. The nice thing about marketplaces, which you may know, is that depending on the marketplace, they only charge if you sell something and or a listing fee, which can be an affordable option, just to get your name out there. Even if you're on a marketplace, you still have to do some advertising and marketing for people to get there. The other thing with Etsy is they do sometimes have hidden fees. For example, they opt you in by default in the marketing. So if you sell an item and it was sold because of what Etsy did for marketing, they're going to charge a big percentage fee of, you know, the marketing / advertising cost that you're automatically opted in. So you got to be careful of that, because I remember when I first signed up, I sold something like, holy cows, they took like $15 out of a $30 product because of the advertising fee. And so yeah, be careful of that, because they opt into you in some of that. Their fees are a little bit higher. I wouldn't say a little bit, but are higher than some other marketplaces just because of what it is. And like I said before, if you build it, they won't come. You still need to advertise that you exist. People may find you randomly by searching on Etsy if they're looking for dye discs specifically, but that may not be the case. There are a few dyers that do pretty well on Etsy. I believe Throw Joe's is on Etsy. Now, there's some plus sides about being on Etsy. Is one, it is a very well-known marketplace and people trust Etsy, so there's that level of trust. Another thing is people can leave reviews, so the more sales you have on there, you know, inherently you can see the number of sales, the number of reviews on there, but that can be done in other ways as well. So Etsy is one. There are a few other marketplaces that I'll talk about later. Another option that you could explore that I have not explored is eBay. That could be potentially another good option that I don't think I've seen any other dyers actually do. And I don't know what their fee structure is for that, but you can definitely take a look at eBay. Another one that is a bit harder and more complex to get on is Amazon. So if you really, really wanted to, you could sell dye discs on Amazon. Yeah, if you find more information about that, I would be curious, because I know I was curious about becoming an Amazon seller for Dyers Guild related items, but passed on that because I know their fees can be pretty high depending on how it is, and I know you need a legit business to sell on there. eBay, I don't think you need a legit business. Etsy, you don't need a legit business, but they do keep track of your taxes, so they do give you a form at the end of the year for tax purposes, so they'll just go on your personal taxes. There are other lesser known marketplaces that you may want to check out that I'm probably going to look into more as well, and I'll try to have a link in the description below, but Store Envy is one. I'm going to say this wrong. Mercari, Mercari, or J. ArtPal, Entrepreneur, and Sachiart. Yeah, those are some other marketplaces that are geared more towards art, more so like traditional art, like paintings and drawings like that, but could potentially be used for disc dyeing. Now, besides marketplaces, you have your own dedicated site. I would recommend this for many reasons, because one, it is yours and you're not reliant on any other social media platform that could take you down or change things or do unexpected things, and you have more control with your own site of how you want it to look, how or what things you want to sell on there. So yeah, it is a lot more customizable, but it can be a little bit more costly and a bit overwhelming. So with the Business Builder, it is your own website that is, we use a template to try to keep costs down, but it is customized with your colors and your branding. So that site is the only, has your stuff only and nobody else's. So it is dedicated to you. And same with these other sites. For example, you have Shopify, which is probably one of the most popular e-commerce platforms for your own dedicated site. It could be a good option to get started with, but you have to know how to build your own site, although they do make it fairly easy. The downside with Shopify is, yes, it is your own site, and you can sell things on there, but there are limitations with Shopify, and Shopify in its base form is very basic, and they do have a lot of add-ons to add functionality, but that can get very expensive very fast. And some of these other sites that you own that you can build out, say if you want like a basic site to have a portfolio, that can get that's fairly cheap, like maybe $5 or $10 a month. But as soon as you start adding e-commerce stuff to some of these platforms, that's when the price starts to go up. Shopify by default, I don't know their exact pricing, but it can get up there, and I know the add-ons can add up costs really fast. Other sites that you can use are Squarespace, which is another site building platform, and I know as soon as you add the e-commerce portion to it, the prices can go up. Another one is Square. So, you know, the card reader Square. If you have that, that could be a good option because that can integrate the card reading and your website. But again, I know the prices go up with e-commerce and other features. I think Square has limitations of how many listings you can post. So you can only have so many, like 5 product listings, and that may be good enough for you. Another one is Wix, which is another basic WYSIWYG website builder for that. Another one is Big Cartel, which seems to be geared more towards the artist, which is nice. And the other one that I use is WordPress. WordPress is a CMS platform, content management platform, that nearly half the web uses. And there's a billion different plugins and things you can do with that, but I use WordPress with WooCommerce plugin for the e-commerce side of things, and Elementor for the WYSIWYG. Now, you can do nearly anything with that, but that is a steep learning curve. These other sites are fairly easy because it's what you see is what you get builder. The downside with that is you have to learn how to do that, and you have to know how to make a aesthetically pleasing design, which you may know how to do because you are dyeing discs, so you technically are an artist and designer. But yeah, with the business builder that the Dyers Guild offers, is we try to make it as simple for you as possible to get up and running. There are no limits on the number of products that you can have. The fees, there's a monthly fee for the hosting and support. And again, you're not just getting the website, you're getting everything else with that as well. And you're getting support from the Dyers Guild rather than some bigger company. So if you have a question, we can answer that right away. And the site is geared specifically for disc dyers. So we optimized it and made sure that it was appropriate for disc dyeing. So there's a lot of other stuff that you don't need on there that may weigh down the sites. Yeah, the big thing is support as many listings as you want. You own everything, and yeah, the pricing for the business builder is very, very comparable to these other platforms. So yeah, I'm not saying that you should go with the business builder, but I would highly recommend it. Definitely go check out the other sites if you're interested as well. But I guarantee the prices are going to be very comparable compared to what you get versus the price. Because I know with owning your own site, some of the limitations are, again, the number of products you can list, the processing fees that they charge. There is going to be a processing fee with the business builder. That's just the credit card processing fee or PayPal processing fee or whatever. There's always going to be that payment processing fee, and that can vary depending on whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to jump on here relatively quick to give some options for you guys to sell your dyed discs now that discdyeing.com marketplace has shut down. If there's anything that I missed that you know about or tried, please let me know, because I want to educate people where they can go, because I want people to make some money on their dyed discs, and at the very least support their disc dyeing addiction. So yeah, until next time, find your line, craft your piece. Hey, it's Future Dave here, and if you're tuning in, you're probably serious about taking your disc dyeing hobby to the next level. Well, I got something just for you, the Dyers Business Builder. It is your all-in-one solution to kickstart or level up your business. With your own dedicated website to sell your creations, a streamlined commission management system, tools for vending at events with real-time inventory management, a full suite of print and digital marketing templates, and a personal business consultation with experts with over 17 years of experience. This is everything you need to succeed. Are you ready to make it happen? Sign up now to stay in the loop and start building your dream business. Head over to dyersguild.co/businessbuilder and let's get started.